The Ghoul Within update just went live for Fallout 76, and I'm gonna let you know if it's worth returning to the game or not to play with all the fun ghouly goodness. So if you want to read through the full patch notes to know absolutely everything that's changing with this update, they'll be in the description below. I'm just going to go over all the big important information that I think might impact whether or not you come back to playing 76. I'm personally someone who doesn't really play the game all that much anymore, so I'm mostly going to be coming at it from the perspective of someone who has played the game a lot, but didn't really find anything new or interesting or exciting to play through lately, so hasn't played much. So I'll be giving you my thoughts and feelings, but mostly just going over what the new content is, so you can get a feel for yourself whether or not it'd be something you're interested in. The main big feature of this update is that you, as the player character, can become a ghoul, for not the first time in Fallout history, but the first time where it feels proper and good. So there is a 2-part quest to become a ghoul that's new to the game. It mostly takes place in a small new area of the map that's in the northeast, just by where the compass is. It's a very small little region, technically part of the Savage Divide, but you'll go there, you'll talk to some NPCs, there is a short quest line with some story about it, and that will allow you to become a ghoul. I'm not going to spoil any of the questline here, I'll leave that for you, but it's short and sweet, I'd say. The characters are endearing, I had a good time with it, but it's short. There's not really much to it. It's just a little sensible way for the character to become a ghoul without it just being a menu setting. Once you do become ghoulified, you then get to customise your appearance, because you're no longer human, so that's got to change up, and the character customisation is pretty cool. You can change it a lot, you can change it outside of the one opportunity you get when you turn, just as standard. You can go into the menu, click change appearance, and there's tons of options. You can get glowing eyes, you can get more human-like appearance, there's different types of ghoul skin, there's a lot of stuff going on. You can really get a different flavour through. There's not quite as many options as you have on the standard human character appearance, but it's good. I'm very happy with the physical character creator that they built for being a ghoul. Do keep in mind though that not everyone is going to be a fan of your brand new appearance. In particular, when you're wandering around and run across just generic Brotherhood characters, they will be hostile to you. When you're a ghoul, the Brotherhood of Steel does not like you. Kind of. Because the thing is, if you go to Fort Atlas, which is the Brotherhood headquarters in Appalachia, everyone will be fine. Just outside, no big deal, they'll treat you like normal. However, while you're a ghoul, you can't go inside. You can't go in and do the Brotherhood main questline while as a ghoul. Instead, you have to get a disguise. This is done quite simply. You just head to a specific NPC at the main ghoul location on the map and ask them to disguise you. While disguised, you can't equip certain items and you can't have power armor equipped, and that's about all it changes. I'm not a fan of the disguise mechanic. It's basically it covers you up, but just by giving you a random outfit that you can't unequip. It would have made more sense if just certain clothing items that did cover you up counted as a disguise. I'm not a fan of the disguise mechanic. It's kind of disappointing and boring, but it gets the job done and makes some sense as to how you can work with factions. It just feels a bit dull compared to the rest of the stuff. If you decide you don't want to go through the very minor hassle of wearing a disguise and then getting rid of it when you want to have other stuff equipped, you can instead return to being human through the character screen. But honestly, I don't think it's worth it. Just wear a disguise for the odd time you need to, and you'll be fine. The thing is, once you return to human, if you then want to become a ghoul again, you have to pay 1,000 atoms, which is the currency you pay for with real money or earn through doing some in-game challenges. You can't redo the quest to become a ghoul, it's going to cost you atoms from there on out. And while we're on the negative pay for certain mechanics thing, let's talk about another little element that's come with this update, the level 50 character boost. You can now start up a new character, pay 1,500 atoms, and instantly advance them to level 50. Now this is good for quickly boosting a side character. If you've played a bunch on your main but you want to start up a new character but you don't want to go through all the grinding because it's tedious and boring, then great, you've now got a character boost you can do. That's good. The problem is you have to pay for it. Maybe you've got the atoms spare, fair enough, but for a lot of people it'll be, hey, the game doesn't really start till you hit level 50, if you pay us a little bit of money you can be level 50 right away. It's it leaves a bad taste in my mouth. I'm not a big fan that this is hidden behind quite an expensive atom cost as well. Like, it's annoying, because the grind to level 50 is annoying, and they're making it so that you can pay to skip over level grinding. They know this is kind of an issue and something which isn't fun within the game, and rather than just make it easier to do, like they did with the hey you can start at level 20 thing, which is free, rather than doing something more like that, they've just made a paid version of it as well. Not a huge fan of that, but it is a new feature of the game. Back to the good stuff, which is being a ghoul. Now, being a ghoul isn't purely a cosmetic thing, and it doesn't just affect a few quests, it has proper gameplay mechanics to go with it. The main two of these are feral and glow. You now have a feral meter which gradually ticks down over time. You start at 100%, you can drop down to 0. When it's fully maxed out, you get plus 3 strength, plus 3 endurance, and plus 30 max hit points. You're basically a little bit tougher and stronger. It's great. As that meter drops down though in increments of 20%, you then get just a little bit of extra health, then you start losing some health and some endurance and stuff, and eventually when it bottoms out, you lose a bunch of endurance, bunch of action points, your gun accuracy goes to shot, you lose all of your charisma, but you do get a 150% damage boost to all melee, so there's a slight upside to going full feral. But overall, I'd rather just be maxed out. In order to keep the meter high, you mostly need to use chems. Using chems boosts your feral meter, some of which by as much as like 25% base, which is pretty good. So yeah, the ghoulish mechanic, or the feral mechanic for being a ghoul, ties in perfectly with chem usage. The other mechanic, and the one which is really good, is glow. Glow is essentially an overshield, which is charged by rads. And it's also got a ton of perk synergy. It is the best part of being a ghoul. If you look in the bottom left of the screen, you'll see my health bar, and also see that there's something over the top of it, which is glow. Standby rads take rad damage, and rather than it hurting you like it would when you're human, you instead just get double health bar. It's crazy strong. I cannot explain enough how strong this is. You get 2 times your health, and it's not until the glow is completely depleted that you start losing actual health. It's crazy strong. It's just so strong. Why would you not want to be a ghoul? This is great. And I said that it's got a bunch of perk synergy, and that's because there's a ton of new perk cards that relate to being a ghoul. When you undergo your transformation, you get locked out of certain human-only perk cards, but instead get a whole bunch of ghoul ones you can purchase instead. And these are so cool. They're just really good. Some of them work with the glow mechanic to use up a bit of glow in order to deal extra damage. Some of them are more generic, like, oh, a chance to just dodge damage, or a chance to reduce incoming damage. And some of them are very much more thematic and stuff. You'll be seeing them on screen now, they look really cool. They look really, really cool, and I can't wait to test a bunch of them out and see how they work, but overall, it just seems like being a ghoul gives you an entirely new set of mechanics to work with, which I love. Additionally, the old perk cards have been reworked. They seem to be somewhat in flux at the moment, but certain things like pistols no longer have a damage boost type, which feels a bit odd, but pistol base damage has been increased. There's also stuff like Tank Killer now covers all small guns, so like pistols, rifles, etc. There's just a ton of reworking to the old perk cards to try and streamline them a little bit. And overall, I think this is a good thing, but obviously depending on your exact build, it may be better or worse for you. It's going to be super subjective to what you've been working with. If you are coming back to the game though, the good thing is that things are just a bit more streamlined in the perk mechanics, so I think that's good. What's not so good is that I encountered some bugs with perk cards, specifically Master Commando kept unequipping for me. I'd equip the perk card, and then it would just unequip itself. For some reason I just couldn't have Master Commando equipped, even though I had Commando equipped and Expert Commando equipped. And it was just really weird. It was very clearly a bug, it was incredibly annoying, but hopefully it's going to be patched soon. It feels like an obvious one that should be fixed, but yeah, there will no doubt be some bugs and issues like that, so if you're someone who gets really infuriated by bugs and issues, why are you playing a Bethesda game, honestly? They're rife with them, unfortunately. Now overall, I am a big fan of this update. I think there's a lot of cool, fun stuff in here, but it's very much more gameplay focused than story focused. In total, doing like all of the story stuff, speaking to every minor character, really taking your time with decisions and even exploring the new locations, there's maybe 2 hours of content. Like, if the reason you haven't been playing 76 is just because you want more story, more narrative, you've already done all the quests and stuff, this isn't the update for you. Like, there's not a lot of new content in that terms. What there is are huge ramifications for builds and gameplay elements. If you're someone like me who loves character builds and love building different characters and trying out different playstyles, I know I'm using the word different too much, I can't think of a synonym right now, but if you love all of that, then this is a great update. Because the whole Ghoul element adds a bunch of stuff, the rework to old perk cards, that changes things as well. I'm really looking forward to just messing around with different perks and different builds and seeing what works well and what synergizes best. I'm already looking at what items have the best rads for the most healing as a Ghoul. It's just really cool. Speaking as a character build maker, I love this update, and it is going to get me to jump back into 76. Like, I'm looking forward to jumping back into the game already, even though I've technically played through all the content. I just want to go and test out different builds, see how they work, see what synergizes. It gets me quite excited, more than the past couple of story updates have. This is going to get me invested in the game, and I'm a big fan of it. But like I say, if you're not that interested in the different mechanics, if you just want to kind of get into the game, be able to play, enjoy the story, whatever, not think about your build and specific mechanics and legendary weapons and all of that nonsense, then this probably isn't the update for you. Like, if you've already got the game installed, sure, play through the quest, talk to the characters, have some fun with it. But if you're thinking about reinstalling for story content about ghouls and how they work and all of this fun lore, there's not a lot here, I've got to be honest. It's really a gameplay update more than a narrative update. Hopefully that little recap was useful to all of you. Please do leave your thoughts in the comments below for what you think of this update if you've tried it or if you're going to try it out. Make sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed, and also if you want to see some more 76 content. I'm real tempted to make Ghoul character builds. It's real tempting. But yeah, feel free to subscribe, share this video around if you fancy, and as always, thank you very much for watching. Sarge out.